Hello? Hello? Hi. What's happening? What? Hold what? What? I don't know. Just oh no. I can hear us. Oh no. Okay. I muted it. I muted us. Don't worry. We're muted. Actually, hold on. Let me listen to it again. What? We sound very quiet. I don't know if it's yeah, like I have the volume like all the way up on the video. I know we are just quiet. So let's get that fixed.
How did
I
it?
hope it wasn't like this earlier, because I did not pay attention in our last video.
How did it get? Which?
Oh, is it on the wrong mic or something?
It was on your mic.
That's weird.
And I've been checking that it's been my mic the past few times. Anyway, they can hear me now.
Yeah, but we're both really quiet.
We
I have the volume up on Twitch at 100%, and we are really quiet.
Okay, I've raised our volumes. I might boost you in Discord a little bit. That might also help.
Yeah, it's just that the video itself is quiet.
That's weird.
Okay, I'm better.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. We're just quiet.
But why though?
I never have to have my volume all the way up to 100 for...
Now I'm gonna check. Wait, I can't. I can't through the desktop. Okay, I'm going to put in an earbud and watch for a minute on my phone to see if I can figure out what's going on with the audio.
Sounds good.
So we're just gonna have to keep talking so I can actually hear it.
Yes. Hello everyone, it's everybody's favorite type of video where you start with audio processing, audio testing, audio fixes.
Alright, I did not change the volume for my phone or my earbuds at all, and it came through fine.
Okay.
Except for the game itself, but that's because of my settings. Because I have to have it down to its lowest other than muted, or else it's just blaring in my ears, because there's only 4 notches above 0. Because this game is from 2014. They didn't understand volume controls back then, apparently. Anywho, trial.
I'm muting it now so that we can watch.
Alright, I just realized I closed ModJet. There we go. Nope. I need to refresh it. As I've mentioned before, it is exceedingly easier to moderate on mobile than anywhere else.
Yay! I guess, I don't know, that actually is probably bad.
It is.
Yeah.
There's no quick way to, mute or ban someone on anything other than mobile.
Uh-huh.
Especially if you're a slow typist like me.
Mm-hmm.
February 25th. That's really close to today.
Yeah, it is. Spoilers, or not spoilers, but dating the VOD video.
Yeah.
February 25th, 9:47 a.m. District Court at Defendant Lobby Number 2.
It's always the Defendant Lobby Number 2. This is the Defendant Lobby Number 2, alright. But there's no defendant in the defendant lobby number 2. I've been trying to reach Lana all morning. Where could she be? And where's Emma, for that matter? It almost seems as if something's been happening behind the scenes. Oh, it's you.
It's me!
Edgeworth?
Knowing you, you've already figured it out. Who the owner of the Sevens ID number is, that is.
Well, I have a pretty strong hunch.
It's the devil!
Looks like I'm not the only one who's figured it out.
You know, the only reason this trial didn't reach a verdict yesterday is because there was still room for doubt regarding this ID record.
Yeah.
If that number does belong to whom you suspect, then no doubt will remain.
Sorry.
After all, he hasn't been officially charged with anything.
I clicked off, and when I clicked back on, it progressed.
Yeah, that happens.
True. Not yet.
In any event, once all doubt has been removed from that list, I can call for a ruling. 5 minutes right, and Chief Prosecutor Skye will be found guilty.
But she didn't do it.
I figured you'd say as much. That's why I came here, to hear what you have to say.
This is the first time he's ever done something like this. Lana's hiding something, and the only way we'll ever know the truth is to draw it out of her.
The truth?
Everything goes back to the SL9 incident.
Don't be stupid. Today's the last day of the trial. We don't have time to reminisce about the past.
Edgeworth, you of all people cannot say that.
Yeah, you can't.
You...
Got too much trauma.
Not even that. I'm talking about his case.
Yeah.
Everything hinged on something from like 20 years ago.
Yeah, from when he was a child.
You were a 4th grader. And that was the most pivotal part of everything. What are you talking about, Miles? That depends on you. She's found guilty. You'll lose your only chance to find out what really happened.
I'll think about it. See you in court, right?
This is it. If I'm ever going to find out what Chief Gant has on her, it's now. But we know. We know. We know. We know. Court is now in session for the trial of Ms. Lana Skye. The defense is ready, Your Honor.
The prosecution is ready, Your Honor.
Normally, this is when the prosecution puts forth its opening statement. But before that, the police chief has a proposal to make. Chief Gant... Ah. How'd you do that?
He's the devil. Morning, folks. How's everyone doing? Hey, Edgy, been back in the pool yet?
No. I've been drowning enough it is in my work. Being surrounded by water, whether liquid or solid, also brings back unpleasant memories. The iceberg. Anyway.
Oh, that's a good one. Don't think I can top that. If you don't mind me asking, Chief, exactly what is this proposal of yours? I'm uncomfortable. Lana. That is to say, the defendant has asked me if she could speak directly to the court. Don't look at me.
She wants to do what?
Having heard what she intends to say, I feel she should be granted her request. In the end, it should save everyone a lot of time and trouble. Girl, what you gotta say?
She's gonna probably
Confess?
again.
Again,
like the
yeah.
5th time.
What's this all about, defendant? I'd just like to make one simple request and I'll be finished.
Well then, what's your request?
Your Honor, I'd like you to put an immediate end to this trial.
Huh.
I confess to all charges against me.
Yep.
On February 21st of this year, I murdered Detective Bruce Goodman in the underground parking lot of the prosecutor's office.
No, Lana. You can't. Your Honor, the defendant's claim does not change the defense's plea.
In that case, Mr. Wright, I no longer require your services.
Lana.
Your Honor, I hereby forfeit my right to my attorney. The prosecution may lack direct evidence against me, but it has sufficiently proven its case through testimony and circumstantial evidence. I would like you to render your verdict now, if you please.
Well, the defendant certainly has the right to self-representation. Her request is legally valid, although this is an unprecedented situation. Indeed, it appears there is no further need to continue this trial, even if Miss Wright may feel otherwise. This can't be happening. It appears the time for the verdict has arrived. This court finds the defendant.
Thank you.
Thank you, Miles.
One moment, Your Honor.
Mr. Edgeworth?
The prosecution has not yet proven the defendant guilty beyond reasonable doubt. Any ruling at this stage would certainly be premature.
Thank you, Miles.
Come now, Worthy.
Why are you back here?
I understand this is a difficult time for you.
Someone hold this man in contempt of court. I know that doesn't exist in this world. Though it's been thrown around specifically at Phoenix.
But why don't you just be a good little boy and keep your mouth shut? Huh. I don't think I care for your tone, Chief Gant.
Reminds me of this guy that I knew who killed my dad.
What? He killed your dad? Creating another fabrication to cover up your past mistakes. Oh man, I was literally doing what Edgeworth was doing on the thing. I had my arms crossed and my finger waggling. I am kidding. Uh-oh.
Perhaps it would be a good idea to take a break from this game. Oh
Sorry,
my god,
but
I
I'm
just
no longer...
peaked the hell out of my mic. I need to lower myself.
But I'm no longer the naive little boy you would have me be. With this sudden confession from the defendant,
I'm going to ignore that it's the 5th time and agree with you.
it's obvious to me some kind of deal was struck behind the scenes. Some kind of deal? Not everyone who operates as you do, Worthy. I thought so. Your Honor, the prosecution would like to change its first witness.
Oh, to whom?
As its first witness, the prosecution would like to call Miss Emma Skye. I request the court hears her testimony. Mr. Edgeworth, I am exercising my right to self-representation. I don't think we need to contend... I don't care what you think, Miss Skye. The exposure of truth sometimes results in tragedy.
And if you want me to take anyone, because currently it seems like you might be juggling 4 characters.
Do you want Gant?
Sure.
However, no matter how tragic the truth may be, it would be an even greater tragedy to avert one's eyes from it. Just because, he's a fun character to voice.
This is true. Very well, the court shall grant the prosecution's request. That's okay with you, right, Chief? Why are you asking his permission? You're the judge.
He's just the chief of police. He has no, yeah. This is you now.
Worthy. You'll
Yeah.
live to regret this. Mark my words.
Go shove tater tots in your gullet. Miss Emma Skye, please take the stand.
Looks like Edgeworth has decided to take the horse by the reins. Hi, Emma.
Now then, witness, please state your name and occupation. My name is Emma Skye. My occupation? I'm Lana's little sister and I want to be a scientific investigator. No, hun, your occupation would be high school student.
Student, high school student.
You're a child.
Minor,
yeah. 2 years ago, you encountered the serial killer Joe Dark of the Joe Dark killings. Is this correct? Yes. I'm trying my hardest to forget about that, though. I'm sorry. But I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you to recall those events one more time.
Mr. Edgeworth, please remember this trial concerns the murder of Detective Goodman. It's an incident that was resolved 2 years ago. Really all that Judge, it's been the most relevant thing the entire case. It's been brought up for every single day in court, and now the prosecutor is bringing it up. Yes, it's relevant.
Yes, it most certainly is.
Well, okay then. You've been passed.
Now, please testify about what happened to you 2 years ago.
Trip to yesteryear has finally begun. It's bound to lead to the truth behind this trial.
I was waiting in my sister's office that day. A man came running in and took me hostage. Neil Marshall rescued me. But I'll never forget what I saw in that instant. The man raised up his knife and stabbed Mr. Marshall in the chest.
Was Marshall stabbed in the back? It's a good thing you weren't harmed.
I passed out. I don't remember much.
That's understandable. However, please tell me, Mr. Edgeworth, what does this testimony have to do with Detective Goodman's murder?
That will soon become apparent, Your Honor.
You've got to admire him for his courage, considering he has no evidence.
Yeah, Phoenix, you have all the evidence.
He knows that you have the evidence, Phoenix. He's helping. He's doing a very Edgeworth way of doing it, but he's helping. Very well, the defense may begin its cross-examination. Okay. What am I...
Oh, right, I guess I should pay attention to that. I mean, probably do... yeah. Press on I'll never forget what I saw in that instant.
Can you tell us about that?
Mr. Marshall jumped on Dark. Just then, the lights went out.
The lights?
It was just about this time of year.
2 years ago.
There was a terrible storm going on, and lightning struck nearby.
So the electricity went out. Wait a minute. It was pitch dark in that room. You shouldn't have been able to see anything, right?
Right, but just then lightning flashed again outside. That sudden flash left an unforgettable image of the scene in my mind.
I see.
I told the detective about what I saw then.
The detective?
Yes, Detective Goodman. He was in charge of the case.
Detective Bruce Goodman. Victim.
Hear more!
So you spoke with Detective Goodman about this 2 years ago.
Yes. That's what's so scary about this trial. And you told Detective Goodman about what you saw? Yes, but at the time, the words just wouldn't come out. That's why I drew a picture.
Picture. Yes, I think she mentioned that before. She sure did. Well, Mr. Wright, have you heard enough? Picture.
Picture.
This picture the witness drew. I believe it has a very important meaning.
But the list of evidence I was given 2 years ago didn't contain a picture.
Witness, would you mind if we added this statement to your testimony?
Yes, Your Honor.
I do mind.
I do mind. Okay, so present evidence list to the statement. I drew a picture of that scene once. That seemed to have been lost.
Ripped half.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Edgeworth? This little girl put all of her heart into drawing that picture. And yet you insist on denying its evidence?
Existence. Huh?
Yes.
Hey! I'm not the bad guy this time.
He's over there, the one... I mean... I'm not the bad guy.
All I'm saying is that as the prosecutor for that case, I wasn't handed such a picture.
That may well be. It doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Behold. This is the evidence list for the SL9 incident. Please turn it over, Your Honor. Turn it... Ah! It took him several tries.
Yes, what is that? Hey, that's it! That's the picture I drew.
Indeed. Men appear to be wrestling here.
What's the meaning of this? What are you doing with that list?
Me?
Only the prosecutor in charge should have access to that list.
Huh? These lists, they're different from each other.
What?
It would appear, Mr. Edgeworth, that the evidence list you were handed 2 years ago was incomplete. These two lists fit together to form one. You can see the marks here, they've been torn apart from each other. I can even match them up. It's wonderful how it was preserved like this for 2 years. So you see, Mr. Edgeworth, it's quite obvious what happened. 2 years ago, only half of the evidence in that case ever reached you.
What? What?
Order, order. Miss Skye, why would you draw your picture on the back of such an important list?
Because that's what Detective Goodman handed me in the questioning room, Your Honor.
Bruce, what the hell?
Yeah, dude, you didn't have like a notepad?
Anything? You couldn't have
Copy paper?
looked at the two-way mirror window thing and just been like, hey, can someone bring a sheet of paper in here? Thank you.
We have a traumatized child who needs to do some
Please.
art therapy.
Hey, what? We were supposed to have a counselor in here. I'm not qualified for this. I'm a good man, but like, come on. This list was torn in half, then that means... Your Honor? Are you all right, Mr. Wright? Your eyes are bulging from your head. If the evidence list was torn in half, then there might be more of the drawing on the back of Mr. Edgeworth's list.
Eh?
Yes, that's quite conceivable, Mr. Edgeworth.
It's possible. Let's see.
Why did I never look at the back of this thing?
Well, if it wasn't much, if it was like a small, thing, then it might have not been noticed.
True. Is something wrong?
And then it's just like a fully detailed, like...
Do you even have to ask? This time it's like photorealistic.
Yeah.
That one was my first try.
Sorry, Your Honor. There is indeed something drawn on the back of my list.
It's a puppy dog.
It's that thing.
It's... Wait. Blue Badger?
Blue Badger!
That thing! The thing that was dancing in the evidence room. The one that we had to see like 100 times.
Clearly, this is the act of vandalism is the work of a certain chief of detectives.
I guess he was out of scrap paper. What is up with you people?
She's like, I didn't draw that.
That wasn't me.
But there was other stuff that was drawn.
Well, witness, you please testify about this picture you drew 2 years ago.
Huh? Oh, yes, sir. Your Honor.
I got lost in the Blue Badger song. What's wrong with Emma? She seemed to be thinking about something when she was looking at the picture. Because they still go together.
This is the picture I drew 2 years ago. The flash of lightning was so bright, all I could see were shadows. After that, I must have fainted. This picture shows exactly what I saw in that instant.
To think a flash of lightning could burn such an image in your mind. Is that, though, she was able to show us exactly what she saw? Well, I don't see any contradictions here. This clearly shows Joe Dark about to murder prosecutor Neil Marshall.
I mean, it shows a
undeniably
figure.
Joe Dark.
Yeah,
And Neil Marshall.
it shows a figure trying to
Stab a figure.
yeah,
Probably.
something like that.
The defense may now begin its cross-examination. Press, this is the
No.
picture, or
Nope, keep going.
flash of lightning.
Keep going. Okay, present Neil's autopsy report.
Neil's autopsy report.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was stabbed in the back.
A knife tip was
That's where
in
the
the
knife
wound.
tip was. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but this picture the witness drew contains a blatant contradiction.
What? But I still remember it just like it was yesterday.
Mr. Wright, perhaps it would be faster if you simply pointed out this contradiction for us. What part of the picture? What am I
So,
pointing at?
okay.
This guy?
No.
The
Okay,
knife?
so
The back?
what? Okay, I want you to look at that knife.
It's blunt.
Yeah,
The knife?
click on it. Yeah, click on the knife.
Blue Badger? The contradiction
Yeah, it was
of course
actually the
lies
Blue
here.
Badger. The Blue Badger murdered the man.
I'm sure he
I'm
had a
sorry.
good reason. Take a look at the knife the man was holding. If you look closely, you can see its tip is broken. You and I don't have to look closely to see that, Mr. Wright.
But Mr. Wright, look at the evidence. See the murder weapon? Its tip is broken too.
If I recall, the tip of the knife was found broken off in the victim's body.
It was a conclusive piece of evidence that proved Joe Dark was the murderer.
I'm afraid it's not so simple.
And where, pray tell, could you possibly see the problem?
If the knife was already broken, how did the tip break off in the body? It's obvious, really. The victim suffered a single stab wound to the back. She said chest. If the victim was only stabbed once, then the murder weapon should not yet be broken. Ah! What's the meaning?
Perhaps the knife was broken beforehand.
Sorry, but I'm afraid that's not possible. The tip of the knife was found inside the victim's body. If it was broken beforehand, it couldn't have possibly wound up in there. That's right, but what does this mean?
The tip of the knife was undeniably discovered within the victim's body. The only possible explanation is the witness's memory is mistaken.
That's why I asked her so many times if she was sure she remembered correctly. I believe you were annoyed at the time, but she was sure she remembered correctly.
But there's no other way to explain this inconsistency.
There is, and that's that the knife tip was put in there later. Not so fast, Mr. Edgeworth. There is another explanation. Have you forgotten already? About a little something called falsified evidence?
You're treading on thin ice, right?
I'm not saying you falsified it, man. Come on. All I'm saying is that this broken knife tip might have been the piece of evidence that was forged. Can't deny the possibility.
No. Ah!
Order, order, order. Are you saying the investigation really was corrupted? Your Honor, please allow me once again to go over the events that took place the day of the moida. The police department and the prosecutor's office were holding a ceremony that day. After receiving the King Prosecutor's Award at the ceremony, Neil Marshall questioned Joe Dark along with Damon Gant. During his questioning, Joe Dark fled the room. Prosecutor Marshall chased after him and was killed by Dark. It is my belief that somewhere in this story, there is a lie.
I'm not lying. The man really was holding up a broken knife. If that's true, then there's no other way around it. This could not have been the actual murder weapon. There must have been another broken knife.
What are the chances of there being two broken knives? I mean, knives are indestructible, right? How could two of them break? A broken knife besides Joe Dark's. Could there have been one? There's another one.
You know.
There's another.
You know the answer.
Emma's mistaken. If the witness is this adamant about the accuracy of what she saw, can't just be explained away by a simple observational error.
Mr. Wright.
In that instant, Emma really did see a broken knife. I assume, then, you have some information about this other broken knife, so please feel free to enlighten us. The murder weapon was already broken prior to the murder. There's only one way. Take a look at this. Here's the real murder weapon. It's the Blue Badger.
Yeah. I'm kidding.
It's
He
the
would never.
Screwdriver.
No.
It's a jar.
Mm-mm.
It's
It's a broken knife. A jar is not a knife. No, go back to that page. Come on, you look. Use your brain. What is something that is a broken knife?
what?
Yeah, it's the photo. There's a broken knife in the photo on the shield that they got rid of. That Gant specifically got rid of
That one. Okay.
because he doesn't want. Yes.
The answer lies in the past. 2 years in the past. When it happened. It's right there. Right here inside this picture. This picture of the award ceremony. Oh, that's you.
This is a picture of the award ceremony. Oh!
What is it, Mr. Edgeworth?
It's the broken murder weapon.
Notice the award Prosecutor Marshall is holding?
That's a broken knife.
I thought I had the knife, and that was what was confusing me.
No.
Not a picture of the knife.
It was a picture of the
As
knife.
we earlier concluded, the knife in the drawing was not Joe Dark's knife. That being the case, the knife the witness saw was in all likelihood from this award. Order! Neil Marshall was awarded King of Prosecutors that day. As an award, he was given this broken shield and knife. When he chased after Joe Dark, he pulled out this knife. Being a prosecutor, he did not carry a pistol. Why can the knife be taken off of the shield? It's an actual knife?
Not anymore. They removed it because it killed a man.
Why was it a real knife to begin with?
I don't know.
Why is
They're over the top.
this broken knife was the only weapon he had in this dangerous situation?
But that can't be.
Oh, and why not, Mr. Edgeworth?
Because if the King of Prosecutor Award knife was the murder weapon, then the murderer and the victim would be reversed.
What do you mean?
I mean, the man raising a knife would have been Prosecutor Neil Marshall.
Oh. Oh. But the prosecutor was the one who actually died. That's true. What's going on here?
I have no idea. It seems Mr. Wright has been a bit too eager to jump to conclusions. Wait! I remember now! I remember everything!
Witness?
Mr. Edgeworth! What is it? Could you show me your evidence list again, please?
Is this the one with the picture scribbled on the back?
I knew it! This picture. I'm the one who drew it. What?
Blue Badger?
It's not Blue Badger. I'm sorry.
Is it the shield?
No, it's not the shield.
Is it a weapon?
No.
Is it me?
Yeah.
Oh, you drew that?
That's right. The list wasn't torn in half at the time I drew this picture. All this time I've been trying so hard to forget. I must have locked this part away deep inside me.
Oh, that's the vase.
Yay! You figured it out.
I pressed the wrong thing. You hear that, buddy? You're a vase. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Perhaps it would be best if we added this to the witness testimony. Would you please tell us what you've recalled, Miss Sky?
Yes, Your Honor.
First the knife mix-up, and now the blue badger? This should be interesting.
When I saw the man raise his knife, I panicked and rushed toward both of them. I think I knocked away the man with the knife. Just then there was another flash of lightning, and that's when I saw the blue badger. He wasn't in the room, but I'm sure I saw his shadow.
This is certainly most unusual.
Try impossible. The chief of detectives hadn't even designed him until this year.
Technically last year, but sure. That would mean he didn't even exist 2 years ago.
Stop! Please, don't pursue this any further.
Anna? What's the meaning of this? Please remain seated in the defendant's chair.
But you can't do this. I've already confessed to the crime. Why can't you just leave it at that? Chief Prosecutor Sky, we've already come this far. It's too late to turn back.
Silence. The defense will now begin its cross-examination. Bailiff, please detain the defendant. It seems we're finally getting to the core of the matter. Okay.
When I saw that man raise his knife, I panicked and rushed toward both of them. I think I knocked away the man with the knife. And then present unstable jar.
Jar. This is the blue badger.
Yeah.
The mysterious blue badger was in fact this. But that's... what is that? I believe it's some sort of jar.
But Mr. Wright, that doesn't look anything like the blue badger.
Indeed, it doesn't. As it stands now, it's just a plain jar. However, what if we were to change our viewpoint? Our viewpoint? I'm struggling.
Yeah, you just gotta figure it out.
Struggling. It's not rotating exactly how I expect it to. Is the problem.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how precise you need it to be, because I
Also,
don't...
we are missing a handle.
Well, you don't need that handle. It would be the top of the jar, or the bottom of the jar. That would be the middle part. Let me see if I can look it up specifically.
Like this? I feel like it's this.
Well, it's not that exactly. That would be closer.
Is it this?
Yeah. Yeah, it's that.
Like down?
No, like that. Nope, that's too far.
You're
Hold on,
behind.
Sorry. Okay.
Am I tilting the lip, as in the opening, up or down?
Up.
Thank you.
More.
It's not moving. Now it is.
That's... I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. Oh. Okay, apparently that's not close enough. Allow me to remind the
Yeah,
defense,
I
blah, 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 blah,
know.
blah, 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 blah. Yeah, it was, like, really close to that. The blood needs to be up.
Okay. God, it's such a bad way to do this game.
And, like, some of the lighter gray needs to show.
Yeah. Nanashi, you are correct. The Blue Badger's signature theme is not quite helping. Is it like this?
Hold on. Hold on, let me just double check, because yeah, I forgot that this is, like, super annoying.
Because
That
I can
looks
see,
really good.
I can
That
see
looks
it.
right. That looks right, based on the pictures I'm looking at.
How is that
What do you mean it's not?
Oh my god.
Like, it's literally... Like, literally looking at it. Like, I am seeing so many posts on, like, Reddit and everything. And it's like...
Why did they make it like this?
Yeah, that are just like, oh, I finally did it after so many tries. You can do it.
Okay.
Hello, Nanashi. Thanks for joining us on this very special adventure. I would say, yeah.
It looks like the I can literally see the silhouette. But
Yeah,
this is how
tilt
I
the
had it
opening
last
up.
time.
Tilt the opening up more. Oh, yeah.
This?
It wasn't centered, or it would have been right. Oh, it has to be okay. Well, that looks centered. Try again.
Oh my god.
Yeah! Okay, 3 times the charm. We got it.
Is this a miracle or what? It sure is,
Or what?
Phoenix.
Or what?
No one can possibly deny this jar's resemblance to the Blue Badger.
The game certainly tried. No. It can't be. Is that his... That's his sleep paralysis demon.
Yeah. Order! The defense has proven its claim. The mysterious Blue Badger witnessed on the day of the crime was actually this.
Although we all enjoyed Mr. Wright's dramatic performance, one question remains. What's your point?
Isn't that always the question? What do you mean?
So the badger thing was actually just a jar. That doesn't change anything.
Edgeworth, there's a jar in the air. I feel like that changes something. I'm afraid that's where you're wrong, Mr. Edgeworth. You see, this changes everything.
Indeed. Very well then. Please tell us. What's different now that we know the witness saw this jar?
The murder weapon?
No.
Location?
The murder weapon was a knife. The location,
Murderer?
yeah.
The location?
The location, because the jar was sailing through the air, as you said.
Allow me to take these in turn. At the moment of the murder, the witness saw this jar.
At a very specific angle, I might add, Mr. Wright.
Well, knowing this, where could she have seen this jar? Where? The location of the jar is shown in a picture taken on the day of the crime. It's on a shelf in the office of Damon Gant.
But the body was found lying near Lana Sky's desk. The witness testified so herself.
Yes, it is these two facts that reveal what actually transpired. You see, the struggle between Dark and Marshall did not take place in Lana Sky's office. It happened on the other side of the room, in Chief Gant's office.
Are you implying the murderer moved the victim's body? From Damon Gant's office to Lana Sky's office?
Yes.
Why would he do that? There's no reason.
Exactly.
Bing!
If there wasn't a reason, he wouldn't have gone through the trouble. The only logical conclusion is that there was a reason. Do you know what that reason is, Mr. Wright? Yes. Finally figured it out. So this is why Lana tried to stop the trial. It's too late to quit now, though. Please recall the witness's testimony. She said she knocked away the man who was holding up the knife. Next instant, the jar was hit and flew through the air. Now tell me, what could have sent the jar flying? That would have been the impact the man made when he knocked into the wall? Ladies and gentlemen, if I may draw your attention to this picture once more. The man was knocked in the direction of the shelf the jar was sitting on. What would he have hit? The superimposed suit of armor with the you know, lance tip that is a knife?
Yeah.
The suit of armor holding a very sharp and dangerous looking sword. Yes. Since the man who was knocked into the armor was carrying a broken knife, he would have been Neil Marshall, wielding the King of Prosecutors trophy.
No. Mr. Wright, you can't be thinking.
Yes. There's another possibility of what actually transpired in that room. Another possibility. Of course, the perpetrator would have had no idea, but nevertheless. I don't know if I can go through with this. Mr. Wright? What's the matter?
If events took place as the defense theorizes, then the outcome is obvious. In that moment, assuming the man Emma Sky knocked away was actually prosecutor Neil Marshall, you mean
Trauma.
Mr. Marshall died because of me?
So many years of therapy.
No!
And she
But-
fainted.
Yeah. I never imagined her testimony would lead to this. But you know who did? You know who knew it would lead to this?
Lana
Lana!
and the devil.
Yeah, obviously.
So it was the witness who took the victim's life. Also me, I figured that out a while ago.
Hmm.
I didn't know exactly how it happened, but I was like, I understand why Lana would do this.
Yeah.
And proved so with her own testimony. This is unprecedented.
Yeah. Objection. What? What are you saying?
I'm sorry, Ms. Sky, but given the circumstances,
Joe Dark murdered Prosecutor Marshall. How can you think it was Emma? How dare you try to pin the crime on her? Imagine that coming from you. If you recall, it was you who admitted to forging evidence 2 years ago. The reason you moved Prosecutor Marshall's body was to keep anyone else from finding out about what Emma did, wasn't it?
except someone else did know.
I assure you, Mr. Edgeworth, I have no idea what you're talking about. If you hope to have anyone believe your insane allegations, I'm afraid you're going to have proof. Tell me, do you have any conclusive evidence that proves my sister, who was 14 at the time,
Yep.
killed Neil Marshall?
Evidence.
Not that a 14-year-old can't kill anybody. I mean, that has actually, that can't happen. I'm willing to bet you don't.
Yes. It certainly would be difficult to prove this with evidence.
If we don't have evidence, then we'll have to rely on testimony. I'm afraid that won't work in this case. Both parties involved in the incident are dead.
Certainly can't get dead people to well,
Yeah, not currently.
not currently.
Not in this instance.
The Fays are not here.
No.
This has all been a wild goose chase from the beginning. All orchestrated by the devil.
Touché, Miss Sky. Of course. That only leaves us with one possibility.
I mean, there's still another possibility? What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth?
I mean, the possibility that the victim has left us a message. For better or for worse, Mr. Marshall did not die instantly. He may have left behind the name of the person who took his life. In one manner or another. That's impossible.
Well, Mr. Wright, this is the only possibility left to you. Message from the deceased. Does such a message exist? Got to think back to the court record. It's in evidence.
Yeah, there's only one answer. If you want to get to a specific
This
thing, it can only be this. Mr. Wright, will you stop at nothing to prove my sister is a murderer?
I mean, it's not really murder. At most, it's
Do
like
not be mistaken, Miss Sky. At most, it's manslaughter. It's an accident.
And she was a minor who was like essentially trying to defend herself.
Yeah.
So it's fine.
Self-defense. I mean, it's not fine.
It's
but
not
still.
fine.
You know, she's gonna need therapy for this.
The biggest problem is the therapy at the moment.
The therapy, yeah. Give this girl some therapy. Anyway, continue.
Also, why is the devil the chief of police?
Our purpose is not to accuse Emma of any crime. There's only one thing we seek. The truth. No matter how painful it may be.
Now then, Mr. Wright, please show us the piece of evidence that conveys a message from the deceased. Blue badger?
Yeah, it's the blue badger.
Is it the piece of cloth?
No, it's the blue badger.
It's the blue badger?
That Emma saw? Yeah.
Oh, it's the jar.
Yeah. Yeah, with the blood on it.
Blue Badger?
Blue Badger!
This is the message left by the deceased. This is that Blue Badger from before, right?
Oh, is he going to just speak the killer's name? If that thing could, I'm sure he has definitely had nightmares about this.
Oh, holy. He hears the song in every single nightmare. Looks like everyone's forgotten this is a jar. A message was left here on the surface of this jar. What do you mean?
Sure.
If you look closely, you can see a faint trail of blood on this jar.
It looks like someone wiped the blood away.
I wonder who that could have been. Yes, but notice, for some reason, the blood on some of the fragments was not wiped away. There is a line here drawn in blood.
So what you're saying is, these dots were once lines.
Prosecutor Marshall did not die instantly. He used the few precious moments left to him to leave behind a message.
One that someone apparently wiped away. But blood must have seeped into the jar where the lines changed directions.
Precisely so. All we need to do is connect these points. The victim's message will become apparent. These two make a wonderful team.
No!
If only if it was something, if it was for something else.
Yeah.
Mr. Wright, what kind of message did the victim leave for us?
Please tell! I love a good mystery.
Your Honor, I believe these blood stains will reveal us the answer.
Alright.
So one thing. His murderer's name. Damon Gant. Ah, that doesn't fit.
Yeah, but you know it does fit.
Wait,
So you have to connect the dots.
I was trying, but I... Oh, that's how I do it. Okay.
I think that's might be fine.
Well,
I will look up the picture though, just so we don't have to deal with
try
that
it
again.
5 times
Yeah.
because it wasn't centered.
Yeah. You got it. No, that's it.
Okay.
Okay, there you go. Present it. It's fine.
It's a defense attorney's duty to prove their client's innocent.
Correct.
Why, all I've been thinking about is saving one. For all my efforts, I never thought it would turn out like this. Emma.
So this is the final message Prosecutor Marshall left behind.
All people. She may not have meant it, but in the end, the one who took the victim's life was Emma Skye.
Anyway, that's not what this trial is about. This trial is about something totally different.
Seaworthy. Can't say I didn't warn you.
Chief Gant.
Do you understand the implications of what you've done?
What? What are you talking about?
2 years ago, Joe Dark was sentenced to death. He was convicted because of his final murder. I believe you were the prosecutor in this case, were you not? Yes, Worthy. Because of you, an innocent man was sentenced to death.
I mean, I
don't think he was
don't think he was innocent.
innocent of Neil Marshall's. Not. Not
even innocent of that. They were still attacking each other. So, like, yeah.
Not only that, but you used forged evidence to ensure his conviction. But Joe Dark really was a serial murderer. That's undeniable. I'm afraid that's not important. Didn't you know? We aren't defenders of justice. What? We're merely keepers of the law. Sentencing a man to death is no light matter.
Spoken like a true cop.
Yep, even if there wasn't a cover-up or evidence forgery, ultimately the responsibility falls on the prosecutor in charge. Despite what anyone may say, this fact cannot be denied. Yeah, except if the assistant chief of police...
He might have been an innocent man to his death. How can you just stand
hides
there?
half
Like,
of the evidence list?
wasn't his fault. Order! Oh, sorry, that's it.
Order! Take a brief recess. The gavel's pounding fell on deaf ears. Unable to settle the crowd, the judge declared a recess. Where the trial is headed, no one knows. I have an idea.
Yeah. What do you mean, no one? I literally have the the
Phantom
walkthrough
has
up
the
here.
walkthrough. I mean,
Yeah, I know what happens.
I'm pretty sure I know what's going to happen. Not exactly how. Sorry, Edgeworth. I didn't mean to get you in trouble.
Don't worry about it. This is my problem, not yours.
Hope I'm not interrupting anything, pals.
Hi, Gumshoe. It's good to see you again.
Oh, guess I am. I'll come back later.
Lover spat.
Wait, Detective Gumshoe, what is it? Got some real nerve about making a detective run all around while on duty. Why did you run away? On top of that, you call me here? I've seen happier people at funerals. Take it Lana's having you run errands again? Let me tell you, this is the last time, pal.
What?
There's a little bird on there.
Yeah.
There's a little guy.
Yeah.
Here, she asked me to give you this, to give this to you if there was a break in today's trial. Evidence law. Edgeworth was talking about this just the other day.
You must know the 2 rules of evidence law. Rule 1. No evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. Is that right, Mr. Wright?
Seems so.
You could at least study some evidence law. Really? You know, being a lawyer.
Chief
and all.
Prosecutor also wanted me to give you a message. A message? She said if you're planning to take him on, you're going to need this book. I guess I'll need to give this book a thorough read.
Alright, be prepared to learn everything about evidence law as it applies in this world.
There are 2 rules. Why does it need a book?
For all the pictures of the little chickie going around and doing evidence.
It's really a picture book about this little chick going on an adventure. And just legalese is just typed out on each page. It doesn't look like that book will do you any good now, though. All that's left now is Chief Prosecutor's sentence. That's where you're wrong, Detective. Huh?
Haven't you figured it out yet? Why I'm still sitting in that prosecutor's seat? Despite all these allegations being thrown at me?
Mr. Edgeworth.
The real trial today hasn't begun yet.
What? What else is there left to do? Do I have to run more? I don't want to run more errands. Your credibility's been all but ruined with this forged evidence you were unaware of. Emma Skye found out she's unwittingly caused a man's death, and now you're telling me you want to do more? You gotta be kidding me, pal. You're missing the point, Detective. Lana didn't murder Detective Goodman. She didn't? She merely stuck a knife into his dead body. That means the real killer is still out there. What?
And her sentencing will only be, messing with a crime scene.
Yeah, tampering with evidence.
Yeah.
A certain level
Desecrating a
of
body.
obstruction of justice, but only a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't even know if that's actually a thing in this world, I'll be honest.
Probably not.
Y'all don't give a shit about perjury. I don't know what you care about. Like,
you can lie in court.
the only
it's
person,
fine.
the only witness so far who has not committed perjury was Emma Skye. And that's it.
Yeah.
We're going to expose him, no matter what it takes. This case has hurt too many people. It's time to bring it to an end. So anyway, I opened a Pokemon pack.
Ooh.
I got a Probopass.
Nice.
I got a Fan Rotom.
Nice.
I got a Weasel.
Love Weasel.
I got an Armor Fossil.
Okay.
And I got Cyrus.
Okay. I like the Cyrus card.
I have one already because it doesn't say new, but I didn't read it. Switch one of your opponent's bench Pokemon that has... Oh!
Right? Like the amount of times that someone switches out a damaged Pokemon for, something that has full health, and I'm like, I could have killed it. And it's like, oh, now I can bring it back out and kill it.
No. Bring back that damaged EX. I want my 2 points.
Exactly. Gimme.
Give. Court will now reconvene for the trial of Ms. Lana Skye. Mr. Edgeworth!
I guess, even though... Yeah.
I feel like
Yes,
this
Your
trial
Honor.
has been exceedingly less about her. Because I've just been trying to pass down a verdict since day one.
Because she was like, I did it, it's good, and everybody else...
is just like, well, we don't actually have evidence. And she's like, but I'm confessing. Yeah, but we can't prove it.
Yeah. Anyway, yes, Your Honor.
The inquiry committee is planning to impose harsh penalties for your actions.
Thank you for the news, Your Honor.
Yes, well, Why was he so gracious? Normally, this is where the prosecution calls forth witness, but, this isn't easy to say. You see, there's some concern that you, Mr. Edgeworth, may have a...
Struck a bargain? You think I may have manipulated the witnesses?
I didn't say that. It's just, you see, everyone has been talking, and...
Very well, Your Honor. I have a solution.
A solution?
That being the case, the prosecution will allow the defense to call forth all further witnesses.
What? But there's no precedent for what you're proposing.
Undeniably, this is an unusual arrangement.
Listen, my 6 days of judge school didn't teach me this after I got out of the iceberg. Nobody's tried anything.
But And a very effective one. It would prove that I haven't struck any deals with the witnesses.
Well, Miss Wright, what do you say? Unbelievable. Edgeworth has found a way to continue the trial. Very well. The defense accepts the prosecution's proposal. And it's settled. The defense may now call for the next witness.
You do realize this is your last chance. I can't keep doing this for you. If you call the wrong witness, the trial is as good as over.
Defense calls Meekins.
No. You know who to call.
Can I hang out with Gumshoe?
No.
Okay, I'll
Can't
bring
be
up
one
the
of your-
devil.
Yeah.
And now that we're not as deep into everything, you can take over Gantigan if you would like.
Yes, I will do so. Since Emma is out of the picture.
And I feel like Lana's not going to be talking much. Damon Gant? What does he have to do with anything?
He has shown up every time to cause problems!
As the defendant's partner 2 years ago... Judge, Judge, talk to me for a second. What do you mean? What does he have to do with anything? He's been constantly barging in on this trial every day of it. What are you talking? I know, but he scares me. I know he scares me too, but come on. As the defendant's partner 2 years ago, Mr. Gant has first-hand knowledge of the crime. I feel we should hear what he has to say about it.
As luck would have it, he should still be in the courthouse. He would also be the least likely to have been manipulated by me in any way.
Have you met the man?
Wouldn't you agree, Your Honor?
True. All right, bailiff, please escort Mr. Gant to the stand.
Witness, please state your name and occupation.
Also, it is just right now that I realized his theme song is in fact played on a pipe organ.
Yeah, 'cause he's the devil.
And he has a pipe organ in his office.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, he wrote this song, didn't he?
Probably. What is this? Some kind of practical joke? I was just on my way to lunch. Your name and occupation, sir. Worthy, are you sure you want to do this? Your name and occupation. So, you want to play hardball, eh?
Please, Mr. Gant.
Fine. My name is Damon Gant. I'm the acting chief of police. I do a side hustle in hell.
Depending on which one I'm at, I call the other one the side hustle. Anyway, now then, Chief Gant, the court requests to hear your testimony.
Oh, righto! What's with the grim face?
I've had to spend so much time around the devil recently, it's hard not to look grim. First, let's clear up this SO9 incident.
Oh, you mean that time when Lana's sister murdered that prosecutor? Personally, I think it's been made pretty clear already.
There's still some things unaccounted for.
Oh? Like what?
Like the role you played in all of this.
Son, either you're very brave or very foolish.
Both. I'm Phoenix Wright.
You are aware, of course, that a police chief has all kinds of weapons at his disposal. Sir, that is a threat! You are in a court of law!
Weapons.
Sure. Take my testimony, for example. I don't have to give it if I don't want to.
What? Is that true? I'm afraid so. The chief of police has the right to refuse to testify.
Of course, such an action carries with it certain risks. Don't worry, I'm not here to hinder your trial. Just remember, if this turns out to be a big waste of time, don't say I didn't warn you.
Very well, the witness may now begin his testimony.
As I recall, Neil and I were questioning him that day. To make a long story short, we slipped up. That power outage didn't help either. When I went to my office, I found Lana there. Apparently, she had already arranged the crime scene. As you can see, I had nothing to do with the forgery.
So another Pokemon side note, I decided to look at my Wonder Picks, and
Yeah.
I have your double Scorpy double cape.
The worst pull I ever got.
2 Scorpy, 2 capes, and a Magnemite.
Yeah. It's not great. Anyway.
Is that when Dark was arrested?
He was lying on the floor, unconscious. When Emma sent Neil flying, it seems Dark bumped his head.
I see. Everything seems pretty clear-cut.
You say that every time.
The police chief has the right to refuse to testify. And I better hit him hard and fast.
Okay, on his last line, present this jar.
Okay. Present. Jar. Claim to have had nothing to do with the forgery. But I'm afraid that is a claim you cannot back up.
Explain yourself.
Several pieces of evidence were found in your office. Take this jar, for example. That's that blue badger you showed us earlier. A piece of this jar was discovered in your safe. Not only that, the evidence list I presented earlier was actually found inside your desk. It was found where? You see, Chief Gant, these articles of evidence uncovered in your office are both concrete proof that you also played part in the illegal investigation. Chief Gant, what's the meaning of this?
Oh. Here's a defense attorney who may even rival Worthy.
I've beaten him every time we've gone to court, so I hope so. So you admitted that you were involved in the forgery.
Who, me? Or do you mean you?
Why would I have anything to do with that?
Well,
I was still in attorney school.
you were the one who snuck into my office when you found this evidence. Prosecutors aren't the only ones capable of forging evidence, you know. Defense attorneys can do so too. Isn't that right, Righto? However, Detective Gumshoe was present during the investigation. Worthy, my boy? Not even detectives are exempt from the law.
Neither are chiefs of police.
Rest assured, Dick will receive his due punishment.
What? Detective Gumshoe's salary drops any further, he'll end up paying to work. Yes, well, in light of the detective's presence, please give us your testimony regarding these pieces of evidence found in your office and their relation to the forgery that took place at the crime scene.
My. Kids these days no longer know how to put two and two together.
I'm older than... Wait, you're the devil. I'm not older than you. This is a new experience for me.
Yeah. Let's see. What was it now? A jar fragment and a list? For all I know, you could have planted them in my office. Anyway, you can't prove when those pieces of evidence were discovered. If they were found after Dark was convicted, then they're worthless. There's no reason I'd participate in a forgery. Rearranging the crime scene wouldn't help me out in any way. Press the last sentence.
Yep. That's right. Yes, Your Honor. When investigating this crime scene, should have been more careful to observe protocol.
You do understand that I am the chief of police, right? There will be consequences.
Oh.
Indeed, I believe I will press charges so you won't make the same mistake again.
My apologies, Chief, but would you mind waiting until tomorrow for that? Today is... well, you know.
Alright, Udgy. In return, though...
I know. That place, right? What are these guys, telepathic?
They're gonna go swimming.
Press the last one. No. I kept clicking.
Yeah, just do it again. Rearranging is the first word.
Really, Chief Gant? At the very least, there is one very large benefit you've reaped from all of this.
Oh, I wasn't aware. What is this benefit?
That would be, of course, the position you have. Chief of Police. Oh. The resolution of the SL9 incident secured your promotion to Chief. That in itself is sufficient motive.
Ho, ho, ho! Oh, that's a good one. Did you know that if you're dyslexic, you might spell Satan instead of Santa?
Yes.
I find it delightful. Do you really think I'm that incompetent?
What do you mean?
Even without that case, I was already in line to become the next chief. The resolution of SL9 merely sped up the inevitable.
Is that true, Edgeworth?
Yes. He was going to be made chief anyway.
Yeah.
Be careful when pointing that finger, or you might wind up being the one pointed at. So that means there's only one possible motive for you to commit forgery. If you didn't do it for yourself.
He was blackmailing Lana.
And you did it for someone else. Don't be silly, Worthy. You know me better than that. There are only 3 people I look out for. Me, myself, and I. There. It's out in the open now. Gee, would you mind if I changed my testimony a little?
By all means, please do.
Okay. You're gonna press that.
Nothing in it for you.
Sorry, but the only person I care about is yours truly. That girl, Lana's little sister, was it? If you think I felt sorry for her, you'd better think again. You're right, you don't feel sorry for anyone. Be tough on crime and tough on people, that's how I was raised. You seem to be lax enough on yourself, though. Ho! 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 That's a good one, Worthy.
Could there have been something in it for him? Blackmail. Blackmail the chief prosecutor forever.
Point out the accomplice.
True, you might not help out anyone for their sake, but if it would benefit you, you might decide to assist someone. Mr. Wright, it appears you're positively determined to portray the chief as a nice man who likes to lend people a hand. He's staring at me. What do you want me to do? He can put me back in the iceberg. That's not.
Do you
what
see
I
how
mean.
strong his hands are?
Like, it's not like devil magic. He can just push me back into it. That's how we lost the other judge. Very well, then. Who's the person you believe Chief Gant may have helped forge evidence? Lana.
Anna!
Meekins?
Yeah, obviously.
Meekins, who was 20 at the time?
Yeah.
Or the 29-year-old chief of prosecutors? Chief Prosecutor Lana, the defendant? I believe it's quite obvious in the light of the circumstances. Emma Skye fell victim to an unfortunate series of events. Who would want to help her more than her own sister Lana? As for Chief Gant, he would also have a reason to help Lana if she asked him to. The reason, of course, is self-profit. Self-profit? What do you mean? After the SL9 incident was resolved, Lana Skye was appointed Chief Prosecutor of the Prosecutor's Office. The person who arranged this job change was you, Chief Gant. But how would he profit from all of this?
He would be able to use the chief prosecutor as his puppet. Essentially, he would acquire unchecked authority over all investigations.
Do you mean to tell me that despite the chief's formidable appearance, he plays with puppets? Oh, wait! You must mean puppet as in someone forced to do his bidding. Never mind.
Remember, he's only been out of the iceberg for 2 years. He had to learn English and metaphors and stuff like. Give him a second.
Admit it, Chief. You assisted Lana Skye in forging evidence. Your motive to appoint her as Chief Prosecutor so you could control her.
Righto, my boy. You have quite an imagination. Let me ask you something.
What?
Do you have any proof of this that I controlled Lana? For example, is Lana testifying that I've done such a thing?
Lana? She's keeping quiet to protect Emma. There's no way she'd testify against Gant. Afraid, without any proof, this amounts to nothing more than mere conjecture.
Unless is also what happened in
This incident? Which one would that be?
Of
Listen,
course, I'm
trying
talking
to straighten
about
out which incident we're talking about.
the murder of Detective Bruce Goodman. You know, the thing the trial is actually about. The chief prosecutor has been acting strange throughout this entire trial. Almost as if someone has been controlling her. Worthy, you'd better watch your tongue. I wouldn't want you to get hurt.
Just what do you mean? What he means, Your Honor, is that Chief Gant is involved in the murder of Detective Goodman. Not only that, but the Chief is now making Lana take the rap to cover up his involvement. What? What? Who would have thought the devil could do this? Order, order. I said order. This is the last day of the trial. We don't have time. That's right. You can't be serious, huh? This is an affront to the highest ranking officer in our law enforcement agency. To accuse the chief of police of blackmail and murder? Impossible. It's literally not. Your Honor, I was merely reiterating. Mr. Edgeworth said in easier to understand language.
It's too late, Mr. Wright. There's no turning back for us now.
This has now become the prosecution of Damon Gant done by Edgeworth and Phoenix. Looks like he's the one who decided to go through with this. You can prove this, Mr. Wright. That the chief, a high-ranking police officer, is involved in this murder. Good question.
Regardless of his rank or title, Chief Gant is just a man.
I resent that. I'm a devil.
The question is he a criminal? I believe the evidence will tell.
I see. Alright then. Let's see what Mr. Wright's got, and it better be good. Show us the evidence that ties Chief Gant to the murder of Detective Goodman.
Huh. No.
The badger.
Obviously.
Let's see.
So there was someone we were trying to figure out who they were. And that was, on the day of the trial. That was unaccounted for.
Oh,
Go.
that is.
Yeah.
There's
Like,
so much evidence.
I know.
There's
And that's
so
what it is with
much
the last
evidence.
one. Whenever we come back to Phoenix Wright, we'll be starting a new game, and you will be able to do most of this on your own. For the first, two or three trials. But, the last one, it's like, there's just so much happening. And we have a weekend in between each
There's
session, so...
There are 3 pages of evidence, and half of them haven't been used since, day 1.
Yeah.
This is the ID card list. Yes, the one that shows who entered the evidence room on the day of the crime. There was one ID on the list we couldn't determine the owner of yesterday. Sevens.
Sorry, but there's no way you can prove that my card number...
It's your number. What? How do you know that? The safe in Chief Gant's office requires a code to open. 7-digit code. 7 digits. You don't mean. I'm afraid so, Your Honor. The code was 7s. The same as the remaining ID card number on that list. Chief Gant, you entered the evidence room on the day of the crime. That's the face that I like to see. Order. Chief Gant, what do you have to say?
Nothing. The defense's search of my office was in violation of regulations. Blah, blah. We need to get an exorcist in here. And I will demand Mr. Wright be punished to the maximum extent of the law. But right now, this court demands an explanation from you. About the use of this ID card.
Chief Gant, so you admit it? You entered the evidence room on the day of the crime.
What about it? I'm the chief of police. Whether it's the evidence room or the bathroom. What's the difference? I can go anywhere I want. Please do not pee in the evidence room. Do not go wherever you want, euphemism.
He's definitely
Okay,
peed in there before.
He's definitely peed in there. Tell me. When you entered the room, were you alone? I always go to the bathroom alone, as I do with the evidence room.
Why were you peeing in the evidence room that day, Gant?
Peeing in the evidence room!
Detective Goodman wouldn't have happened to be with you that day, would he?
Of course not. Why would that be? I hadn't seen him in days.
You hadn't seen him in days, Chief Gant. I'm afraid you've just undone yourself. On that day, you had to have met with Detective Goodman. What do you mean? This trial's purpose is to determine Lana Sky's guilt.
No, it isn't, Your Honor. The trial's purpose is to determine the truth. If Chief Gant met the victim on the day of the crime, then we need to determine one thing. What transpired during their meeting?
In that case, Mr. Wright, I'm going to ask you for evidence. Show us proof that the chief went to... that the victim went to meet the chief the day of the crime.
Do you know why Goodman had to talk to the chief that day?
Because he lost his ID?
Because he lost his ID and had to
Maybe
make a report.
Submitted to the chief of police
And that's why it was only half written.
because he got stabbed.
Well, no, because the chief was like, oh, I'll help you by stabbing you in the evidence room, obviously.
So it was because he got stabbed. Detective
Well, no, I think he went to Chief Gant and was like writing it out, and he was like, "Why do you need it? Oh, to get into the evidence room. Well, I'll go with you." So that's why he stopped. That's why it wasn't finished. It got turned in, but it wasn't finished.
Detective Goodman lost his ID card on the day of the crime.
Or to be more accurate, Jake Marshall stole it.
Yep. So Detective Goodman filled out a lost item report. He would have had to give that report to the chief of police.
Yet you are in possession of the report, which means you can't be sure if he filled it. Filed.
He filed it. How do I know, you ask? Because he needed to enter the evidence room that day. He needed to? Yes, to transfer the evidence out. Oh, Detective Goodman took the form to you, Chief Gant. Then, you accompanied the detective to the evidence room.
I accompanied him.
There's no other way the murderer and Detective Goodman would have entered the...
Hold on. Let me guess what you're going to say next. I, the chief of police, murdered poor Goodman.
Exactly. But wait. Chief didn't necessarily need to accompany him to the evidence room. He could have just lent him his ID card.
Yes. Now that you mention it, I believe I might have done something of the sort. Sorry, but that's not possible. According to the record, your card was only used once. Yet you showed us your ID card earlier. If you had really lent it to Detective Goodman, it would have been found on his body. No!
Oh, that was sick. Chief Gant, you didn't. I'm not going swimming with you anymore. You're a meanie pants. The murder was most likely a spur-of-the-moment crime. For no one in their right mind would choose the police department as a place to commit murder. After the murder, you contacted Lana, the prosecutor's office, to dispose of Detective Goodman's body, of course.
You're forgetting something, Mr. Wright. That the victim's body was discovered in the prosecutor's office parking lot. How did he manage to move it there? I was at the police department the entire day, you know. And everyone was aware that Lana stayed at the prosecutor's office after the ceremony.
Everyone except me, it seems. Still, you're the chief of police. You have an entire police force at your disposal.
Oh, so you think I just ordered an officer to do it?
Yes.
Hey you, take this here dead body over to the prosecutor's office. I don't think so.
Chief Gantz, you left all the evidence we need to prove how you moved the body to the prosecutor's office. And all this time, I thought it was a useless clue just taking up space. How could the chief have moved the body? Mr. Wright, show us this evidence. To move the victim's body, Chief Gant used the Blue Badger. No. Unless.
How did
At
you,
this
where
point,
wa- okay,
I'm just trying to look at all the evidence again.
Yep.
Because there's so much of it.
yeah.
Oh god, which one is it?
Okay.
My brain is going numb.
Where was the body found?
In the
Exactly.
evidences. So the locker?
No.
No.
Where was the body found?
Oh, in the car.
Whose car?
Edgeworth.
And why was Edgeworth at the police station?
Trophy.
No. That was at the
What?
prosecutor's
Oh,
place.
transfer.
He was asked by Chief Gant.
He was asked there.
Mm-hmm.
Parking stop?
Nope. I'll just tell you it. The screwdriver. He was
Oh,
asked
to pick up the screwdriver.
to pick up the screwdriver. Yeah. Brought back to his office on Gant's request. Yeah, no, it's like you were given this at the very beginning of the investigation, and it was literally like not a useful piece. It was literally nothing until right now.
This is how he moved Detective Goodman's body. What's that? A screwdriver? What does this have to do with this case? Mr. Edgeworth, think back to the day of the crime. What was this screwdriver doing here?
It's here because I was asked to go by Chief Gant, no less. He told me he wanted me to keep it here in the prosecutor's office. In any case, on the day of the stabbings, I brought this back here. After the ceremony ended that day, I didn't plan to return to the prosecutor's office.
But you did. Because Chief Gant asked you to.
You mean I?
The body was found in the trunk of Mr. Edgeworth's car. I think it's obvious what happened. The body was moved by that car. Detective Goodman's body was carried in the trunk of Mr. Edgeworth's car? Yes. Unless, of course, you have another explanation, Chief. Why else would you have asked Mr. Edgeworth to transport evidence from a closed case? There's only one plausible explanation. To transport the body to your accomplice, Ms. Lana Skye. Order! Order! What's going on here? Is there no room for rebuttal to the defense's outrageous accusations? Think back to the photograph Miss Starr took at the prosecutor's office. This was not a photo of the body being stuffed into the trunk to be taken away. It's exactly the opposite.
It is a photo of the body being taken from the trunk.
Chief Gant, please say something.
I believe your time's up.
My time's up?
Sorry, Rido, but I'm having lunch with District Attorney General after this. We have to get going if we're to make it in time for the early bird special.
But the cross-examination isn't finished yet.
Remember what I told you earlier? A police chief has all kinds of weapons at his disposal.
Weapons!
Like the right to refuse to testify. I'm invoking that right now.
What? That is not a right to be casually invoked. There are certain risks to be considered.
So you're going to just run away after all of this?
Run away?
Run away? Don't make me laugh, Worthy. I stabbed old Goodman. That's what you're saying, right? But if you had any conclusive evidence, you have presented it by now.
Aye.
You think I had Lana dispose of the body? If so, then show your proof and get it over with.
Say it again, Miss Wright. Damon Gant is currently the chief of police. This court will not tolerate any accusations against him without concrete proof. Well, Mr. Wright, Your Honor, do you have any concrete proof? Proof that Chief Gant murdered Detective Goodman and made Miss Skye dispose of his body. Do I have any proof?
You do not.
So I have no proof yet?
You have no proof yet. This is like the... It's important that I tell you this now, because usually it is. Of course I have
time.
Proof. It's like, very rarely they will be like, I don't have proof, I need to do something.
It's no use showing evidence I'm not sure of. I'm not even sure of myself. No, Your Honor, at present, I have no conclusive evidence.
See, Yoji?
In that case, this court is forced to penalize you for your allegations against the chief. What?
What? Here's a tip. Never gamble when you can't what you can't afford to lose, righto? It seems that Lady Luck was on my side again today. Okay, Oji, I'll leave the rest to you. He just literally phases out.
Yep. I warned you earlier, Miss Wright. This is an affront to a senior officer in our nation's law enforcement agency.
Don't you know he's above the law?
What?
Lady Luck, Maybe we should have a word with her.
Mr. Edgeworth, what do you mean?
There's one lady who knows the real truth behind this trial. We haven't yet had the honor of hearing her testimony.
Lady who knows the truth, another witness.
In the absence of conclusive evidence, the only other method of proof is testimony.
But Chief Gant has invoked his right to refuse to testify.
There's still someone else. One more witness who can answer all the questions. Raised in this trial. Someone in this very room.
Mr. Edgeworth, who is this person?
Why are you asking me, Your Honor? Have you forgotten? The defense is the one calling witnesses today.
Miss Wright, does such a witness exist? She may not be willing to tell the truth. We can't just stop now. Yes, Your Honor. The defense calls forth Gumshoe.
Yeah, the prettiest lady of all.
The prettiest princess at the ball.
That's right.
The defendant? Ms. Lotta Skye? She was in the underground parking lot at 5:15 on February 21st. Tasked to dispose of the victim's body. In accordance with a certain someone's orders. Mr. Edgeworth?
The prosecution has no objections, Your Honor.
Very well, the court will now take its final recess for the day. 15 minutes we will reconvene to hear the defendant's testimony. The court will... Hold on.
Hold on!
Yeah, oh. Chief Gant, I thought you were going to go eat.
Listen good, Lana.
He's talking to Lana.
I don't think you need me to tell you this, but if you accept Mr. Wright's claims, there will be terrible consequences. That's right, I'm threatening you in front of the judge in court. Your sister will be found guilty for Neil Marshall's murder.
This isn't good.
Of course, you never support such outrageous claims anyway, right? Just something to think about. Alright then. I've got a lunch date to meet. You just literally...
Okay, if there aren't any further objections, this court is now in recess. I long for the ice.
Looks like we managed to stay in the game.
Yeah, thanks for your help, Edgeworth. Heck Chief. He's something else, eh, pals? Detective Gumshoe. I'm not a detective anymore. Oh. Yeah. Sorry about that. Don't worry, I've already decided where to work now. At your office. My office? Sure. Take the place of that top-knotted girl you used to work with. Could you mean... Maya? Still, looks like we're all out of moves now. Chief Gant's done it again. Said he always gets the upper hand. It's not fair he has the right to refuse to testify.
Settle down, right? Remember what the judge said.
But Chief... We
Yep.
just read this, please, game. Risks. What do you mean by that?
It's simple. If the chief refuses to testify, the opposite also holds true. You mean he forfeits his right to say anything too?
Emma, are you okay?
Yeah, when I came to, I was in the medical office. I've forgotten the last 24 hours. I've been listening to the trial from the gallery.
So she heard everything that's been going on. Emma, I'm sorry what I said before.
No, don't be. It was the truth. You know, it's funny. I almost feel somehow relieved.
Relieved?
Yeah, now I finally know what really happened. To think that all this time, my sister was being blackmailed by that terrible man. And she did it all just to protect me. Ever since her appointment as chief prosecutor, everyone who knew her said she's changed. Perhaps it was easier that way for her.
What do you mean?
What do you think I mean? To follow Chief Gant's orders. She must have shut herself up deep inside. To force herself to do anything and everything the chief told her to do.
That must be why she became so cold.
It was all my fault.
No,
It's all because I murdered Mr. Marshall.
not murder. Hey, don't go blaming yourself now. You want to blame anyone? Blame society, pal. We live in one of those.
Chief Gant may be able to fool everyone else with his forgery, but he can't fool my memory. I remember now. I knocked Mr. Marshall into that armor.
I see. Well, we'd better get back. It's time for the final act. Emma, why don't you wait?
No, I'm going with you.
Oh, but I was gonna have Gumshoe. It's fine.
I want to be there. When Lana tells the truth. Let's go, right. It's time to end this. So it is 10 o'clock.
Sure is.
And we don't have that much left, but it might be like a half hour.
Okay.
At least more. So do you want to continue and go half hour over or
Let's
save
just
this?
push it.
Okay.
Especially if we want to start something new next week.
Yeah.
That I am not playing.
Yeah, that's fair.
Try and read quick. Now then, will the defendant, Miss Lana Skye, please take the stand?
Miss Lana Skye, you are the chief prosecutor. I'm sure you are aware of what is required of you. But Mr. Edgeworth, you already know everything. You know all that I've done these past 2 years.
Please provide the court with your testimony, Ms. Skye. And remember, you're under oath. We want to hear the truth.
Of course, the truth. Lana, no matter what happens, I'll always be your sister.
Now then, your testimony, if you will. First, tell us about your relationship with Chief Gant. Everything hinges on your testimony. You're the only one... You're the only chance we have to get Gant.
I worked alongside Gant for years. There's no truth to this blackmail theory. I fabricated the evidence 2 years ago all by myself. When I found Prosecutor Marshall's body, I rearranged the crime scene. My only motivation was to get Dark convicted. It had nothing to do with Emma.
Are you sure about this testimony?
Yes, Your Honor. I am confessing to a capital offense. Of course I am. But Lana!
This is true, and that means Chief Gant has nothing to do with this.
That's what I've been telling you from the beginning. Please, Mr. Wright, you've got to help her. She's sacrificing herself because of me.
What if she's telling the truth?
She's not. I know my own sister. Whenever she speaks stiffly like that, she's hiding something inside. Deep down, she's really screaming in agony.
Yeah, this is no time to start second-guessing myself. The defense may now begin its cross-examination.
Alright. Press when I found Prosecutor Marshall's body.
You say you did this all by yourself.
Yes. Would you mind telling us what you found when you arrived at the crime scene? It seems I was the first person to discover the scene. The broken prosecutor's sword knife was stuck in the victim's body.
What? Prosecutor Marshall died from an unfortunate accident.
That's only a situation you dreamed was possible. The reality is, it wasn't my sister who took the prosecutor's life. Fantasize all you want, Mr. Wright, but I'll never change this statement. You mean Prosecutor Marshall wound up being killed by Dark? Something like that. If that is so, what happened to the other murder weapon? Dark was carrying a switchblade knife. Oh, that was lying on the floor a little distance away. It was probably knocked away in the struggle.
It's not how it went down. She's trying to cover up her lies with more lies.
All just to protect me.
So when you found the scene like this, what did you do? For all, this is what everything boils down to.
Yes. I broke off the tip of Dark's knife, planted it inside the wound, then moved the body.
What am I pressing?
This.
You planted the tip of Dark's knife? You Move the body?
But why? Why would you do that? You of all people should know, Edgeworth. You've always had a good head on your shoulders.
My head isn't that bad, but maybe I ought to ask for the sake of others.
Why did you move the body?
When you showed up at the scene, where exactly was the victim's body?
It was where you deduced it was, by Chief Gant's desk. But the body was found by your desk. Why did you move it there? The reason for that is simple.
Let's have the witness explain this in more detail. The reason Miss Sky moved the body.
Present unstable jar. The pieces of the jar that shattered during the events threatened my plan.
Miss Sky, I understand how you feel. You committed that crime 2 years ago to protect your sister. I mean, the forgery at the scene where Neil Marshall was murdered. If that truth were to be exposed now, the past 2 years of your life have all been in vain. Even so, I am compelled to bring everyone's attention. Significant contradiction within your testimony.
A contradiction in my testimony?
You testified, and I quote, "Pieces of the jar that shattered during the events threatened my plan."
That's right.
Do you have a problem with that? It's a simple oversight, really. You see, a message was written in this jar in the victim's blood.
Yes, the prosecutor must have written it in his final moments.
Exactly so. This is where the contradiction lies. In order for the victim to be able to write his message on the jar, it must not have yet been broken before he died.
Huh.
He couldn't have written Emma's name on a shattered jar. Order, order.
Your Honor, it would appear more information is needed in regard to this jar and its bloody message. We may be missing something critical here.
Something critical.
Chief Prosecutor, it seems you're as in the dark as we are about the truth toward which we're headed. What? Just tell us exactly what you saw. We'll piece together the information to arrive at the truth.
Very well, the witness may now continue her testimony.
I immediately noticed the blood traces on the jar, but it was dark in the room and I didn't have time to check it out. To be safe, I wiped away the blood. The fragments were large, so I'm sure I got them all. All I could think about was wiping them clean before they were discovered.
You mean you were the one who wiped away the message in blood?
I wasn't chief prosecutor at the time. She didn't think Dark was the real murderer. That's why she tried to erase the real evidence.
Very well, the defense may now begin its cross-examination. Okay.
Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Present the jar.
Miss Sky, I believe this jar conceals a truth even you were unaware of.
What?
We found a final piece of this jar in Gant's safe.
In the chief's safe? But how?
I knew it. She really didn't know. Something even more disturbing about that final piece was still blood on it. But the witness just testified. She gathered every last piece and wiped the blood off them. Yes, which leaves us with only one explanation. On the night Prosecutor Marshall was murdered, you were not the first one to show up on the scene. Chief Gant got there before you. But couldn't the defendant have simply missed a piece? I'm afraid that's unlikely. Pieces are too big for anyone to miss, let alone an ace detective. That may well be, but everyone makes mistakes. Everyone has those days. Even I once wasted an entire day being in ice, looking for my dentures. They were in my mouth all along. What
Have you
is this
forgotten,
man?
Your Honor? Have you forgotten, Your Honor? When this witness arrived at the scene, the jar was already broken.
Oh, that.
There's no way a name could have been written on a shattered jar. Another person discovered the scene prior to the witness.
I hope you're not implying this person was Chief Gant. The time he was looking for Dark downstairs. Besides, even if he was there first, why would he break the jar? Question is, if he did arrive there first, why did he hide the fact for 2 years? Well, Your Honor, can you answer us that? No.
I like how he doesn't really get a freak out face. Always calm and collected, that man.
Well, he has his,
Always calm and collected,
he
that
has
man.
his baffled face, which is
Sure.
his second most common face, other
Yeah.
than this one right here. Wait, I'm not the one on trial here.
Damon Grant arrived at the crime scene prior to the witness. He proceeds to break the jar. He purposely hide one of the broken pieces. Question: what is this action called?
Fabrication of evidence. But why would Chief Gant do that?
In light of what happened afterwards, isn't it clear?
What happened afterwards?
Discovering the scene, Lana Skye believed her sister Emma killed the victim. Determined to help her sister, she sought Gant's aid. Lending her his aid, Gant helped her create evidence that incriminated Dark, sparing Emma. And therein lies the reason. The reason why Miss Skye became the chief's puppet. Girl, don't do that! Ow! No, I did it on my own. Please, sis, stop trying to protect the chief. I can't watch you suffer anymore for my sake. No, you didn't. It wasn't you, Emma. You didn't kill anyone. I don't believe anything Mr. Wright says. Defense attorneys make up the most foul lies to defend their clients.
Foul lies. Imagine that coming from my own client. Guess you do seem the type who likes to twist the truth. Judge, what the wait a minute. What if we're still smack dab in the middle of Gant's trap? Something wrong, Mr. Wright? Lana? Maybe right after all.
What do you mean, right?
Thank you, Phoenix.
So you do tell foul lies then, Mr. Wright?
Ms. Skye, please testify once more, but
But
if evidence was fabricated behind your back in Emma's accidental killing, Prosecutor Marshall, might also be a lie.
But I do remember knocking over Mr. Marshall.
Ms. Sky, if you will.
I can't. There's nothing to be afraid of anymore.
Gonna nail the devil to the wall.
This cross-examination may not change a thing. However, there is a possibility that it will if you tell the truth. Very well. I'll testify about what I really saw.
Alright, the witness may testify once more for the final time.
Alright! Let's go! When I arrived, I found Mr. Marshall's body impaled on that suit of armor's sword. Emma and Dark were lying unconscious on the floor nearby. When I saw what had happened, I thought she did it. That's why I erased all the evidence that linked her to the murder. I had Chief Gant help me remove the body from the sword and carry it. But if it all really was fabrication, Emma might be innocent.
Unbelievable. Body was impaled on the armor's sword.
You were the only one who saw that. If only you had proof. Actually, I do have proof.
Pardon?
I gave it to Mr. Wright just this morning.
What? To me?
It's a picture I took of the crime scene as I encountered it. I thought it might be needed.
I don't remember receiving a picture it's in the book.
Lana must have known. See, Mr. Wright, she really does have faith in you.
Very well, Mr. Wright. Please present this picture. I don't remember receiving any pictures from Lana.
Lana said she gave it to you this morning, right?
I seem to remember getting something from her then.
Let's check that evidence again. There must be a picture in there somewhere. Here's a book with a little chicky on it. It's so cute.
No, I wanted to move. I want to move this. Let me move the freak. Okay. Oh no. Hey, there's a picture here.
Oh my. This is the actual crime scene. No other detective saw the crime scene like this. Because I contacted Criminal Affairs only after I had rearranged everything.
There's a section of his vest missing.
Mr. Wright! That piece cut out from his vest, could that be?
Cloth we found inside Chief Gant's safe. What's this? It's a cloth with your handprint on it.
This is a handprint on it, isn't it? That cloth, it had fingerprints on it. Whoever fingerprints those are must be the real murderer.
Those fingerprints, they're yours.
Why are your lips turning all purple, Mr. Wright?
I'm going into anaphylaxis.
Anyway, let's get on to the cross-examination. So long as you tell the truth, we should be able to flush out the real murderer.
Very well, the defense may now begin its cross-examination. Alright.
When I arrived, I found Mr. Marshall's body. Okay, let me see here. You can't be here. Come on, Udgy! This is the poorest excuse for a trial I've ever seen!
Chief Gant.
What, now you want to make me out as a bad guy too? If so, I'd like to put in a word or two in my defense. I'm afraid it's too late for that. What? You already declined to testify. That means you forfeited your right to make statements of any sort.
This must be that risk we were talking about earlier.
Just sit back, relax, and enjoy the sound of the noose tightening around your known neck. Yeah, so what? You think I'm worried?
Yes.
That's just a tick I have. Sorry to disappoint you. But I don't need to make any statements. What do you mean? The evidence will do all the talking for me. Even if I can't testify, I can still present evidence.
Yes, that's true. Wait, you mean still have some conclusive evidence?
No, I don't. But someone does.
Someone.
So what's your excuse, righto? Why have you been quiet about it? You do have something to show us, right? Something that proves who knocked over Neil Marshall, causing his death?
Really, it only proves that she touched him.
Yeah. Conclusive evidence that leaves no room for doubt.
Is this true, Mr. Wright? Show the piece of evidence now. I'm assured to be made out as the murderer. Mr. Wright, if you have any more evidence presented now, if you try to conceal anything, you will be the one appearing before the Board of Inquiries. What do I do now? Better think this through carefully. I can't afford to make the wrong decision. Should I present that piece of evidence? The one that shows who really killed Prosecutor Marshall? Yes?
Okay,
Or no?
so it shows saying cannot show evidence and then show evidence.
Okay.
I don't know if cannot show evidence will actually provide us with anything or if it will just...
I might just go through that quickly.
Okay. So cannot show evidence. What? You lie!
Chief Gant?
You opened my safe. I know where you took what was inside. The conclusive evidence.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Mr. Wright, why don't you show them? We found it together. Oh, I see. It's because you know the truth, don't you? You know whose fingerprints are on it. That's why you won't present it. What are you talking about, Chief Gant? Can't you figure it out? Take a good look at this picture. See the victim's vest? Notice anything odd about the chest area?
Looks like part of it's been cut out for some reason.
You mean you had this in your safe?
That means the chief of police been concealing evidence. This is going to be the biggest scandal in the history of the police department. Wait until you find out that he's the murderer.
Impressive. To be honest, I didn't think you had the gall, righto. Well, I can't just let you pin me up as the murderer. I'll tell you what really happened.
What? You mean you admit to it?
You can't testify. Why are you
gave it
here?
up. You were going to the early bird special.
Leave! I was the first person to arrive at the crime scene that day. It then occurred to me that I could use the situation to control Lana. So you really were manipulating her? I knew Lana. If I made it look like the blame lay with her sister, then when she saw the scene, she would ask me for my aid. So you assisted this guy. I told her to arrange all the evidence. I had her plant the knife tip in the victim's body and move the body across the room. And I ended up using that evidence to get Joe Dart convicted. When I tampered with the crime scene, I hid 2 pieces of evidence. This was before Lana arrived at the scene, mind you.
2 pieces of evidence. You mean those items in your safe. But why?
For insurance, of course.
Insurance?
I was sure my plan would work, but it's always best to be prepared for the worst. I wasn't about to let anyone blame me for a murder that girl committed.
You mean you were calculating that far ahead while forging the evidence?
What do you take me for, a fool? I didn't make police chief by dumb luck. See this jar fragment? I hid the most legible part of Emma's name. I didn't expect Lana to go and wipe the blood off all the pieces. But if you fabricated all the evidence, that's what's to say you didn't fabricate the message on this jar too? Oh. Some people just don't know when to quit, do they? That's why I kept one more item for insurance. You mean that piece of cloth? Come on, Righto, cough it up already. I know you have it. So we needed to get him to admit that he did all this. What are you waiting for, Mr. Wright?
So you admit it then, Chief Gant. You were hiding the cloth you cut off the victim's vest in your safe.
Yes, I admit it. I didn't want to have to do that, being chief and all. You weren't chief yet. But it's a lot better than being portrayed as a murderer.
Well, Mr. Wright, what do you have to say for yourself? Just a moment ago, you said you didn't have any evidence you could present.
Foolish move, Righto. You should have shown it then before it was too late.
It's been a long battle. The moment of truth has finally arrived. As long as I don't mess up here, victory is mine. Show evidence now? Yes?
Yeah, show it now.
Your Honor, I do have evidence to present now. Right then, let's see this conclusive evidence. Evidence that show who actually murdered Prosecutor Marshall. Cloth?
Yeah, the cloth.
Evidence law?
Cloth!
Blue Badger?
Blue Badger.
Officer Meekins? Let me
Officer
verify this once more. On the day of the crime, you personally cut this piece of the victim's vest.
Oh, yes! At last, you finally brought it out into the open.
There's a handprint on this piece of cloth.
Your Honor, the prosecution requests that it be immediately sent to the lab for analysis. This handprint on the leather. There must have been a strong impact for it to be left so clearly.
You mean...
It could not have been forged. It must be authentic, conclusive evidence. Ho ho ho! You're as slow on the uptake as ever, Worthy. What? Think about it. Righto had all this time to present this evidence. Yet he was reluctant to do so. Why would that be? You mean you already know? You know whose fingerprints are on that. Mr. Ray, do you really know?
Whoever the fingerprints belong to must be the real murderer. Whose fingerprints are they? They're mine. Very well, I'll tell you. It should be okay now. Everything's proceeding as predicted. Emma? Emma Sky?
What? They're mine?
Sorry, Emma.
But why? Why didn't you tell me? Oh. You're really something, Rido. You knew this girl did it all along. And you still tried to pin the murder on me.
So it's true. Tragic, but true. This girl really did shove Prosecutor Marshall to his death.
How could you? You monster!
Ms. Sky?
You knew whose fingerprints those were all along, yet you acted like she really didn't.
Ms. Sky, it's not over yet. I said this trial isn't over yet.
Ha! But I'm afraid it's over, boy. Not only this trial.
Why do you and Lana keep switching places here?
But your career, too!
No, Phoenix's flop era isn't until after the third game.
You purposely concealed this conclusive evidence. That, my friend, is a serious offense. I'm looking forward to pressing charges after the defendant is convicted. I'll have your badge, boy! What's the matter? Cat got your tongue? Aren't you going to tell us how it feels? How it feels to be the one who single-handedly turned a poor little girl into a murderer?
Before I do that, there's just one little thing I have to clear up.
Oh? And what's that?
Who really killed Prosecutor Neil Marshall? What? Chief Gant, you are absolutely right. This piece of cloth proves who the real murderer is. Who killed Neil Marshall, you ask? It was Emma Sky, wasn't it? I'm afraid that's not possible. You see, this piece of cloth contains a critical contradiction.
What? A contradiction? What is this fool babbling about?
I'm talking about a contradiction, one that proves who the real killer is. Mr. Wright, this piece of cloth, what could it possibly contradict? Chief Gant, your tyrannical reign ends here. Behold the piece of evidence that contradicts this cloth. Blue Badger?
Yeah, no, Lana's picture. Go back to Lana's picture.
Wait.
That's it. And what exactly is that supposed to be?
This is the picture Ms. Sky took. Take a good look at it. See where the piece of his vest was cut out? Yes, his shirt is showing underneath. It's hard to make out. The blood isn't on the vest. It's hard to make on the cloth. Yeah, which is the vest.
Yeah. Yeah, which is the vest. Yes.
It's hard to make out with all the blood on his vest, though. Exactly my point. His chest is soaked with blood. That's only natural. His lungs, no doubt, were punctured. Blood poured out from his mouth. Oh, but that piece of cloth. Wait. There's no blood on it. Since Emma Sky's fingerprints are on this cloth, there's no doubt that she shoved the prosecutor aside. However, Mr. Marshall was not impaled on the sword at that time.
No! This is nonsense!
Now then, Chief Gant, let me ask you something. Prosecutor Marshall was not impaled when he was shoved aside.
He most likely hit his head on the ground and was knocked out. Just like dark.
So, if so, then tell me, Who could it have been? Who could have arrived at the scene before Ms. Lana Sky, picked up the unconscious prosecutor, impaled him on the armor's sword?
Then, to make it look like Emma was responsible for the prosecutor's death, said person proceeded to write her name on the jar with the victim's blood. The jar that they then broke on purpose to leave behind a clue. And make Lana believe her sister did it.
Remember what you admitted only moments ago? You personally cut out this bloodless piece of the victim's vest. Ironic, isn't it? Though the very act of creating insurance, you proved that you were the actual murderer. It's finally all over.
It's fun making the noises.
Yeah.
I hope nobody's ears get hurt from it.
Oh.
Now he's a poor little meow meow. A
This
set
sopping wet man.
a sad wet little man. Yo, that was so close, right? You almost had me. Sorry, but you'll have to do better than that. I refute your allegations.
What do you mean you refute his allegations?
You see, that piece of cloth is illegal evidence.
Order.
Except
What nonsense is this?
illegal evidence cannot be used to convince the suspect. Remember Edgy? Earlier, old Rido here concealed that piece of cloth. So then, what's your excuse, Rido? You know this thing that happened 5 minutes ago? You do have some exclusive evidence?
Well, that's true. The defense did refuse to present evidence.
At that moment, that piece of cloth ceased to be legal evidence. But that's not fair! Ho ho ho! Did you actually think you would beat me in court? It looks like the last laugh's on you, son.
I'm afraid Mr. Gant's claim is legally correct. Well, Mr. Edgeworth?
True. Illegal evidence cannot be used to convict a person, assuming, of course, that the evidence is indeed illegal.
Well, Mr. Wright? It seems, at last, time for me to reveal my plan has finally arrived.
Which is totally his plan from the beginning.
Miss Wright, do you admit to it? You purposefully and illegally concealed this piece of cloth.
You did not.
Didn't. I showed it
No.
to you. I admit I refused to present it at one point.
Aha! So the evidence is illegal.
No, it isn't, Mr. Gant.
Huh?
It's not that I didn't present evidence then. It's that I couldn't. What do you mean you couldn't? There are certain procedures involved when presenting evidence.
No, Edgy. Don't listen to his lies.
He couldn't because Gant hadn't approved.
Uh-huh.
He never approved it until he told Wright to do it.
He's nothing but a coward. You couldn't believe. Objection. There's only one issue left to be resolved in this trial. Is this evidence legal or not?
Very well, let us settle this once and for all. Earlier, you refused to present evidence. You can prove your conduct was not in violation of the law, then do so. Chicky.
Chicky!
This is my proof, Your Honor. Evidence law.
What's this?
I've done my homework too, Chief. Indeed, Emma Sky's fingerprints were on this piece of cloth. However, at that point in time, This is merely a piece of cloth, nothing more.
What?
You see, it's written right here in this book, second rule of evidence law.
Rule number 1, no evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department.
I found this piece of evidence myself, inside your safe. Goes without saying, I did not have approval from the police department.
Rule number 2, unregistered evidence presented must be relevant to the case on trial.
And here's the crux of the matter. You see, at the time it was impossible for me to prove the relevance between the cloth and the SL9 incident.
What? What kind of nonsense is this? You want relevancy? Just take one look at this picture and...
Sorry, but you recall, when was this picture presented? It was shown a few moments ago.
No. He's right.
Yes, that is my name.
At the beginning of today's trial, that piece of cloth was still meaningless.
The person who gave the value as evidence was you, Damon Gant.
You yourself confessed to a certain truth. No! It was then that you approved the cloth as conclusive evidence. Yes, you, the chief of police, personally approved this cloth.
The only person who could have cut this from the victim's vest is the one who stood before Prosecutor Marshall in his final moments. In other words, the real murderer. There's only one person who that could be. Damon Gant. The killer was you. His mouth got even bigger.
I knew I should have gotten rid of him. That good-for-nothing scum. For 2 years, he's been snooping around the department trying to get something on me. Crimes are being committed every day, yet he insisted on hounding me. Because you killed his brother. Well, your crime wasn't exactly petty. He wanted to reinvestigate the case. He recruited Angel Starr, then convinced Bruce Goodman.
That's why Bruce had to die. Detective Goodman?
Yeah, that's right. This is you.
If the evidence is transferred, it was my only chance to find the truth. Please, gotta help me.
Goodman turned him down, as he ought to. Still, Jake Marshall didn't know when to quit. He stole Goodman's ID card and tried to take the evidence. Goodman came to me that day. He wanted to file a lost item report. I went with him to the evidence room. Then all of a sudden, he decided to speak out! What are you talking about, Goodman?
Can you please reopen the investigation, Chief? We can't transfer the evidence out. There are too many questions left unanswered.
He opened his evidence locker and he was taking the evidence out. He said,
It's not too late. I'm gonna hand all this over to Marshall.
well, to be honest, I was a bit taken aback by his words. I had a bad feeling when he came to see me, but I never thought he'd bring up SL9. That's when I saw it. That accursed knife! I couldn't just pull it out. Doing so would have only led to more blood, making it near impossible to hide your crime. Even so, the blood was just pouring out. I didn't know who might stumble in, so I hurried to wipe it up. I was worrying so much about the floor, I didn't realize my fatal mistake.
Bloody handprint on Detective Gumshoe's locker.
I used to be known as the crime computer. But everyone has to start somewhere, I guess. I was too nervous. I had no business doing any of it. Then you put the body in my car. I'm sorry, I couldn't think of any other way to move the body. I broke your trunk, but what's the big deal? You make a lot more than us detectives ever will.
You're not a detective, you're the chief of police. Leaving the prosecution's car aside, how could you get Miss Sky involved in all of this?
Well, she had as much to lose as I did if the truth came out. So you took the evidence from Detective Goodman's locker? I felt bad for having to do it. I also didn't have the time to pick and choose what to take.
So, you left the jar fragments in the glove.
Yeah. It looks like I was better off being an investigator of crimes than a committer. I mean,
Got
yeah.
away with one for 2 years.
This one he was sloppy with, though.
True.
They all did their best to get in my way. I've got to hand it to them. They do their jobs well, much to my dismay. Fake evidence doesn't hold up very well upon close examination. You must have known that. Tell me, Worthy. Why do you stand in court? Me? You despise criminals. I can feel it. You and me? We're the same.
Edgeworth, I'm gonna look that way. I do whatever.
One day, you'll understand. Oh, believe me, you will. You're just one man. You'll see what it really takes to bring them down once you try to go it alone.
I don't think Gumshoe is physically capable of letting me go alone.
Well, looks like it's time to say goodbye. Oh, Udgy!
What?
Looks like we'll have to cancel that lunch date. Sorry, old friend!
I'm sorry too, Damon Gant. I knew you as you used to be, long ago, before the iceberg. You were once a fine investigator, and an example to others on the force. Sorry to learn that you are no longer that person.
Those days are gone now, Udgy. Thanks for all the memories, though. And your soul. Don't worry, you'll be fine. Now, you have Righto here. And Worthy. With these two around, you can't go wrong. In fact, I can hear them already! The melodious sounds of a new beginning. They're gonna take down so many scumbag criminals, just like me. Be good to watch behind my bars.
There are two things I want you to understand.
Yes?
First, your sisters never hurt anyone. Second, Damon Gant betrayed you from the beginning. You see, Ms. Sky, you no longer have any reason to keep silent.
You're right. When this trial is over, I'll tell everything. All that I've done these past 2 years. From the time I had Gant help me forge evidence up until today.
So, It seems all the questions raised in this trial have been answered. Sorry, Miss Sky. I couldn't get you out of all of your trouble.
My, what high standards you have for a rookie. I can see why Mia thought so highly of you. Who knows? A few years from now, you just might make it to the top. I owe you my thanks, Mr. Wright.
Miss Sky.
And to you too, Mr. Edgeworth. You suffered every bit as much as I have over these past few days. Believe me, I know how much of an ordeal it's been for you. Huh. It was nothing.
Liar.
I was worried the pressure might break you. And yet, you rose above it all and guided Mr. Wright to victory. You've done well, Mr. Edgeworth. Stop it. I only did my job.
In light of this case, it seems good self-examining is in order for all of us. Miss Sky,
Yes, Your Honor.
you are innocent of murder. However, although the chief blackmailed you, the fact is you still acted as his accomplice. Trial will be scheduled for these crimes at a later date.
Yes, I understand, Your Honor.
Is there something amusing about all of this? Why are you smiling?
It's been a long time, Your Honor.
What is up with these people?
A long time since I felt free of these heavy chains.
I know the feeling you're describing. Like when I left the ice. Well, this trial has gone on for far too long already. Regarding
Yeah, almost an hour.
the charge of murder, this court finds the defendant, Miss Lana Sky, not guilty. Nice.
Hooray!
That is all. This court is adjourned. Long last, it's finally over. Emma? Why the long fate? Oh, your sister's probably still going to jail. I'm sorry your sister didn't get it completely off the hook, but at least she wasn't convicted for a murder she didn't commit.
No, that's not it. Just now, after the trial ended. I... You know, I did my best too, but Lana didn't say a single word to me.
Hope I'm not interrupting anything, pals. Oh, yes I am. I'll come back later. Detective Gumshoe, what is it? You're doing this on purpose, aren't you? Making a detective run around on duty. Top of that, you call me here, happier funerals. I'm only kidding.
Oh, are you here because of my sister again?
Nope, not this time. Came today because of you, pal.
Me?
That's right. I thought you'd like to see someone.
Lana!
Should you be doing this? She's still under arrest, you know? Well, I won't tell if you won't.
Emma, I owe you an apology. It's okay, sis. Don't worry about it. That day, 2 years ago, was the first time in my life I ever panicked. It was all I could do to keep myself from screaming. All I could think about was keeping you from getting wrapped up in that mess. Sis. I asked Gant to help me cover up the truth. I thought I was doing it for your sake. But now, I realize I was wrong. I changed after that day. I had to. It was the only way I could make it through the past 2 years. I knew how much I was hurting you by distancing myself. But I couldn't bring myself to tell you what I did. I was scared. Scared that you'd look at me with those eyes of yours. I was scared of how you'd react if you knew. But sis, you were only doing it for me. No. Huh? I turned my back on you that day. I'm hiding what I believe to be the truth. I was deceiving you. Sis. I'm such a fool. It took me all this time to realize it. Emma, I'm so sorry. But sis, you don't have to apologize. I'm happy now. You're happy? Of course! You know, sis, I always knew that one day you'd come back. And now you have. Oh, Emma. Emma! Aww.
No one can change the past. The only thing we can do is strive to make up for our mistakes. Why must we make up for our mistakes, you ask? Because in doing so, we can find the way back to our rightful path. And it is from there that we can move on toward a brighter future. At least that's what I felt watching the two sisters make up.
Mr. Wright, Mr. Gumshoe,
Me?
thank you both for all that you've done. I'm sure we'll meet again someday.
Do we?
Isn't that right, Edgeworth?
Edgeworth?
Stop hiding and come over here.
I was behind the plant.
He's so mad.
Where was he hiding?
I just came to say I have unnecessary feelings. Congratulations, or whatever. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Edgeworth. Right, no, I was talking to Phoenix, but, well, I'll be going now. Mr. Edgeworth, I hope you don't blame yourself for what happened. We were the ones who acted corruptly, not you. I'm going on vacation. It's too late for me.
Yes, vacation.
No matter what anyone may say, I realize today that I can't correct my mistakes. Mr. Edgeworth. Not only that, but I don't even trust myself anymore. Chief Gant was right. We're the same! One day you'll murder someone so that you can be, I don't know, have power or something. I do despise criminals. I plan to dedicate my entire life to fighting them. But in order to fight crime on my own, I'd need a weapon. It's scary, but I've known that to be true for quite some time now.
But Edgeworth.
Who knows? Given enough time, I might have tried to pull something like Chief Gant did. That thought terrifies me. That's why I can't continue on as a prosecutor. Edgeworth, don't you understand? Damon Gant and your mentor, Manfred von Karma, they suck! We're both the best of the best when it came to fighting crime. Sure. But they both made the same mistake.
Doing
They thought
crime.
they were doing crime. They thought they were above crime. You said, in order to fight crime on my own, I'd need a weapon. But you're not on your own. Look, Gumshoe's right behind you. That may be true, but think back to today's trial. You weren't alone.
Hello.
You were
Hey,
working
pal.
together with Mr. Wright. Do you two know each other? You have like really good chemistry. And because of that
Feelings.
partnership,
Uh-huh.
you were able to present evidence that otherwise would have gone undiscovered. Isn't that right, Mr. Wright?
Huh? What? Yeah. What is this, a pop quiz?
Come on, Mr. Wright. Show him what Lana's talking about.
Evidence, huh?
Oh,
Something that neither Edgeworth nor I would have been able to find on our own. Badger.
literally, you each had a piece of it. No, that's Gumshoe.
It's the evidence list.
Yeah. Literally needed both of you to do that. That's the picture that I drew.
The blue badger.
Blue Badger.
Counterattack began with this. You had one half of the evidence list, and I had the other. Apart, we wouldn't have been able to completely restore Emma's picture.
That didn't just happen by chance, Mr. Edgeworth. It's time for me to go.
Too many feelings.
Mr. Edgeworth. If you'll excuse me, there's still some loose ends that need wrapping up. Take care, Chief Prosecutor.
Edgeworth, what will you do now? Whatever you do, just remember. You can let whatever happened kill the prosecutor and you, or you can let it help you grow. In the end, it's up to you.
I know. It seems I owe you my thanks, too, right? But what I face now is my problem.
Edgeworth, I'll be waiting for you in court.
Farewell. Oh, he's gonna wait for him. I'd better be going too. Okay, but I'll be by to visit soon. It seems we both have a lot to learn and catching up to do. Here, this is a little something for you. Oh, cheeky investigation.
This is the best legal series. Legal documents, but it says it's cheeky.
He's a cheeky.
And each thing only
Scientific
contains 1 to
investigation.
3 rules.
It's the first book I ever bought. Study it well. Thanks, sis. I will.
That was the first book you ever bought?
Probably in regards to her career.
Yeah. So another case came to a close. As for the sisters, I have faith. Faith that their lives have only just begun. Well, they're 16 and 29, I'd hope so. And as for me, I think it's time I started on a new journey of my own. A journey to rediscover myself. Well, don't go trekking off just yet, pal. Huh? What is it, detective? It's just a little matter to be resolved about the chief prosecutor. See, she isn't supposed to be out of jail like this.
But I thought you said it was okay.
Yeah, well, it may be okay with me, but the folks at the prison are a different story. Huh? Basically, I had to bribe a guard in order to sneak her out for 30 minutes. Believe me, it wasn't cheap either. It took 3 months of salary because of how many pay cuts I've had.
Way to go, detective. I didn't know you had a wild side.
Well, yeah, you see, never trust the police. Mr. Wright, he is the He's the one foot in the bill. What, you think I could have that with my salary? You gotta be kidding me, pal.
Thank you, Mr. Wright. You're the best.
Why is it I suddenly feel like I want to scream? Hey, I got an idea. Why don't we all go pay it off together? Group
Yeah,
bribe,
that's a
group
great
bribe,
idea.
group bribe.
Come on, guys. Let's go. It's not illegal if the good guys do it.
Okay, the game's over.
The game's over. I'm very tired. It is after 11.
It sure is.
We did 3 hours
I
of
arranged
this.
for a friend of mine in Europe to take care of Emma. She'll be pleased to study under a top coroner. As for me, as a fair, pretty much ended my days of the prosecutor's office. Way back into the field somehow. Then I'll be able to investigate crimes together with Emma.
Hooray! Crimes, 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 crimes.
Crimes. So what are we doing next time?
I don't know. I suggested possibly doing
Layton?
Professor Layton.
Yikes, I thought I was gonna for a moment there. In the end, though, they overlooked my unauthorized investigation of the chief's office. If we penalized you anymore, it'd be worse than firing you. Yep, that's what they said. Just goes to show, you can't shake me off that easily. That's true. So we might do Layton or something else. We'll find out.
We might
next
do something short.
something
Just
short.
to give us a breather instead of another series that will take, you know, a
2 to 3
couple
months.
yeah, to do. But yeah. Weekends!
My new mission is to guard the main entrance and take care of Billy. Can you believe it? I've been demoted to a security guard. My partner's keeping an eye on the entrance for me today. I'll show them, though. Someday I'm going to make detective. Yes, sir, then I can be just like that Dick Shoe.
Aim high, bud. Aim high. So, yeah, we'll figure out. Maybe I'll do a Stardew Valley stream as a nice little breather because I never actually did that extra stream that I was gonna do.
Oh, yeah. Badger?
I was going for Haley, right?
Yes.
Yeah, because I haven't ever romanced her. So that'll be fun. Blue Badger. It was like right before the... I think it was like right before the Flower Festival. Oh no!
Blue Badger,
R.I.P. R.I.P. Blue Badger. So yeah, I might do that next week and then do Professor Layton after that. Either way, we'll be streaming next Tuesday, 8 o'clock Central, like always. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You gotta stake lunch from
One of the cards. Well, Cowboy, it looks like you did it. You even gave Bambina back her smile. Make sure Billy and the gang get their water.
I mean, they're cactuses. It won't have to be that often.
Yeah. I'm more worried about their lack of sunlight.
Yeah. Looks like we won't be seeing each other for a while. As a farewell gift, I put a new meal on the menu. Top layer tastes bitter as defeat, but the bottom sweet as victory. Kids seem to dig the turnabout thing. Make sure not to eat it backwards.
Yeah. I'm Phantom.
Bard.
And you have VODs scheduled
I sure do.
for our YouTube channel under the same name, which is linked below, right? Do we have it linked below?
Yeah.
We did. Yes,
We do.
we have it linked below. So
College of Spirits.
easy access. College of Spirits. I feel like we really need to put a icon on it so it's a little bit easier to see. Oh yeah, the judge. Hi, Judge.
You just called right Mr. Left. And he forgot his gavel.
That sounds right. yeah, so check out our VODs if you missed anything.
Yeah.
And honestly, if you do have suggestions for games, we're willing to listen to suggestions.
Yeah.
We have our limitations on what we have in our libraries and what our computers. Maya! Ah! Nothing soothes the soul like fresh country air. Still, sometimes I do miss hearing you and your objection. Still, I can't go back until I'm a full-fledged spirit medium. Mystic Maya! Afternoon training's about to begin. Coming! Well, see you around, Nick. I'm very excited for Maya to be back in the next game.
Yeah.
I do miss her. Like, Emma was fine.
She's fine.
But, like, it was very much a, hey, we're gonna make this character that's like Maya, but not.
Uh-huh.
Oh, and Miles? Mr. Edgeworth. Mr.
Mr.
Edgeworth? Oh, sorry, this is you.
Brought you your tea. What's going on?
He's on vacation. Leave him alone.
And we've been on too long because
We got the bots!
now we're getting bots.
Be gone, bot! Thanks for coming to see me off.
And
I can't believe I'm going to Europe. Thank you, Mr. Wright. Thank you so much for everything. I'm a little sad, but I'll be alright. Whenever I want to see Lana, all I have to do is open this book.
this one
She left a
doesn't have
picture of
any-
herself inside.
This one doesn't have any grisly murder pictures in it.
No, but it does have a picture of her sister.
Yes, it has a letter.
Aww.
Aw.
Very cute.
Yeah.
Very cute. I love these games. They are very silly. We joke about how, some stuff doesn't work, but, like, it's done for the plot.
Yes.
Like, if the judge was competent, there'd be a little less of a story.
Mm-hmm. It is written as a story, not as a trial.
Yeah. Well, bye!
Goodbye!